The fuck is? I gotta mute him.
Every Tuesday night, the gang's on the air. Carlos, Tyler, Jay with a flair. Comedy, culture, news, and life's sweet spice. Serve it up hot. Oh, it's always nice, nice. Laughter echoes through the digital street. Friends catching up, ain't that a treat? Jokes that ring sharp as a knife. They dive deep, set your spirit alight. HollingsWorthless, yeah, tune in tight. Three pals diving, everything feels right. From comedy to culture, every news bite, they bring the light. On a Tuesday night. Hits the punchlines quick as a flash. Tyler's stories always crash. They drops wisdom like a silent storm. Together they create a show that's more. They talk about the life, the love, the strife. Turn mundane moments into pure delight. Each Tuesday just feels right. It's more than a show, it's a piece of life. Culture served on a silver plate. News and views that resonate. Committed gold, you can hardly wait. It's a weekly fix, don't be late. Culture served on a silver plate. News and views that resonate. Committed gold, you can hardly wait. It's a weekly fix, don't be late.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless Program. I'm one of the hosts, Big Ass Jay Hollingsworth. As usual, we have the three amigos, three men, no baby. Shout out to Baby Miles. Just the three of us. Trips, three of a kind. Three's Company, no Mr. Furley. Starting with. They call him part-time famous, full-time funny, Carlos Anthony.
Hey, we in the building. What's happening?
And last but not least, oh fuck, we have Jack.
Jack O'Lantern.
You got it. Fucking they call him the Seattle native, aka Chief Green Cloud, aka Hayawattamaya Smoking, aka Sacagawea, aka Potta Hot Mess, aka the box checker, murder. They say he's uncancelable. Murderer. Tyler, don't call me Joseph Smith. That was from memory. Boom.
There it is.
What up? It is our pre-Halloween podcast. Carlos has never. I'm trying to think. You have, Tyler. Have you been, or maybe you haven't? You haven't never. Neither of you have been a part of a Hollingsworthless Halloween podcast, right?
No.
Where we go to like a haunted place. Shut the fuck up, Tyler. You fucking look at that grin.
Right.
Well, I posted a thing on my socials that I'm going to be gone starting tomorrow, going to Ireland for a week. So it won't be an episode next week of this or Love in Black and White. And excuse me. With that, I was going to ask you guys. I had some topics. What is your favorite place you've ever been to? And your least favorite place, and also somewhere you want to go to that you haven't.
Tyler, you go first.
Oh my!
I mean, there's so many places that I hate.
Love it.
Being when you travel, when you do comedy, you see the country and you're like, yeah, this is a place I would never want to live.
Yeah.
But the places that I love to go to, I mean, I love going to Hawaii. That's always a really fun place to stop by.
You're fucking. Yeah, I appreciate though every week your new ones. This one's hilarious though with the smile and then the fucking eyes.
Right.
But yeah, I think Hawaii is definitely on my top right now. But I love Washington so much. I mean, that's why I live here still. That like this is why I live here, because I love it. Been everywhere, been to 48 countries. And
that is.
I would say definitely Washington's the best. And then Hawaii. And my least favorite place to go is small towns in Washington.
Washington's the best and the worst.
Totally.
Got it all. What about you, Carlos?
I just hate really flat.
Hold on, he forgot where's somewhere he wanted to go.
Yeah. Where's somewhere you haven't been that you want to go?
I guess like Norway or Finland. It'd be cool to see the Northern Lights. But everywhere that I've wanted to go, I've kind of already been.
I would say Antarctica, but having a flat Earth, they won't let us get out there because of the ice walls.
That's what they say.
Okay, what about you, Carlos?
I'd have to go with Hawaii or Puerto Rico too. Just because I like the nice clear water and like the scenery, the peacefulness of the islands.
The garbage island, they call it.
That's what they said. The garbage island got a lot of fine ass women. So a lot of nice scenery. So that's interesting. But yeah, either there, Dominican Republic would be on high on that list too. Is another good one. I actually, if we're talking inside of the United States and Houston, I loved Houston. I love
really.
I love the culture, the food, the
What was it, Tyler?
Really?
So cities I did not like is Memphis, Tennessee.
Really?
Old ghetto, and that was back in the Jerry Curl days. So it was even more ghetto then. And then let's throw Maldives on my must get to. That is one of my trips I'm going to make within the
Which place?
The Maldives.
Nuts.
Maldives.
Nuts.
No.
Maldives. Okay, I'm showing my dumbness. Where is Maldives?
I want to say it's in East Asia somewhere.
You don't even know.
You don't know? Always wanted to go
the
there.
Maldives.
As soon as I find out where it is, I'm going.
I was right. I was close. It's South Asia. It ain't East Asia. It's South Asia.
All right.
Dude, I really, really want to go to Tennessee because I just recently discovered that they have armored MMA.
Oh. But are you going to participate or you just want to watch?
I just want to watch, man. I'm too pretty for that type of stuff.
What does armored MMA involve?
Like they're in night uniforms.
The octagon. It's 100% an octagon. Like looks just like a UFC octagon in a stadium with full-on knights using swords and shields or halberds or maces or whatever, just going at it.
Yes, indeed.
By the way, I want to give a shout out real quick to Natasha and Victoria. I'm sure BS Jeffrey will be in here shortly if he's not already.
What's happening, everybody?
What up? What were you about to say, Carlos?
I mean, is this how you win until you beat the shit out of somebody? I don't know the gist.
To the death, bro.
It's
okay. Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure I was clear on this.
You should see the waiver you have to sign. It's fucking
well,
there's
sure.
Jeffrey murder. I would say, let me see. Favorite places I've been. Let's see. I mean, Tyler was saying like he loves Washington. That's why he lives there and stuff. I mean, I love Boston. I love Vegas. A place that I haven't been, that I haven't lived, but I loved was Colorado. I like Colorado a lot. And
we went there.
That was the time I went with Tyler. I just it was nice. Oh, you know what else? No. Here's another one. Chicago. I would live in Chicago in a minute. I fucking loved Chicago when I was there. Every time I've been there. Place that I don't really like. Elko, Nevada. Have you been there, Carlos?
Yes. That's one on the books.
Dude.
Nothing there. It's an old mining town.
Yeah, it is like where time stood still.
Yeah, 100%. It almost looks like the hills have eyes.
Yeah, it was. I did a gig out there. Have you performed out there?
I have not performed there, but I've gone through there.
Dude, I did this like little theater, but it's not really a theater. This thing seats not a lot, and I was just like, I remember looking out my room, and I'm just like, where the fuck am I? It feels like you're in the 1950s. Natasha said, sounds like in Sundown Town. Yeah, definitely. Ireland, I love Ireland, but it's it's a long trip. Dubai was dope when I went there. And then a place I haven't been that I would love to go. Back when I was single, I definitely wanted to go to Brazil, but not anymore. I've always thought it would be cool to China, because of the martial arts and all the shit, China or Japan, maybe. I think those might be on the top of my list of places I'd like to. Oh, you know what? No, also Greece, Italy.
I ate a McDonald's at both China and Japan.
Did you?
Yeah.
You know what's funny is so I'm
only when I didn't get diarrhea.
I was gonna say no E. coli.
Last time I went out to Ireland, so I stayed. I don't think you ever met him, Tyler, but my buddy Ray, I used to work with him back in he's from Ireland, lived in the States for a while. We were roommates, moved back to Ireland. And when I was out there last time, and I've told Angel this, that he kept saying, he's like, you got to try McDonald's out here. And I was like, what's it? Why? And he goes, because they only use Irish beef. They use cattle here in Ireland, and they have different, the fries taste different. Like everything tastes different because they have different standards and everything. So I was like, this is a pretty fucking good burger here, McDonald's here in Ireland.
Okay.
It's amazing when you leave the country and these companies have to abide by actual laws for food safety and food regulation. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe Skittles is made with real fruit up here. It's like, what the hell is this?
That's all it is. It's just real fruit. And also I put on here, cows drunk on Guinness. How dare you, BS Jeffrey?
That's why it tastes different. It's seasoned.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Guinness does taste better in Ireland, and it's because of the water.
I can
They
imagine.
export all the bad Guinness.
What'd you say?
They export all the bad Guinness.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All of Washington's best apples get sent to Japan, I found out.
What? Say that again?
Yeah. Washington, we produce the most apples of any place, and all of our top picks go to Japan because they pay more for them.
Interesting.
Okay.
And Natasha said each country has its own McDonald's menu items, and yes, the beef is always local. Interesting.
It was like that in Puerto Rico. It was a different McDonald's. They had a whole different breakfast menu. It was fit for what they eat in Puerto Rico, which I thought was dope.
I just, oh God, when I go to Ireland, I just want to make sure I don't fucking mistakenly have blood sausage again. Ugh. Fucking disgusting. Oh God. My Ray, he already hit us up and was like, what do you want for snacks and stuff? And that's like, I'll need some protein shakes. That's about it once we get out there. I put this on here last episode. I don't know what we were talking about, made me think about it, but have you tell me about the times where you almost died. Have you had any experiences where you near death experiences, almost died, whatever they may be? I'm not having haggis, BS Jeffrey. That's fucking Scottish shit.
I mean, which one you want to talk about? I've had two, at least two.
All right.
I've had a stroke before.
Wow.
And I've also had this was in high school, had a tonsil swell up on me during a band competition in Florida, and I was first chair, and I didn't want to give up my chair, so I tried to play through it and wind up getting real sick at night, and they had to rush me to the ER. Come to find out, had I not said anything, then that tonsil would have cut off my airwave, and I would have passed out. I would have died in my sleep on the band trip.
Damn.
God. And the stroke, how long ago was that?
That was early 2000s. It was right when I was going through my divorce. It was the mini stroke, clearly not the full TIA. So it wasn't a full blown one, but that was another situation where I didn't say anything. I was out in the yard working, chest hurting, head hurting, arm not feeling in my left arm. Went to go lay down and was like,
"What the fuck, man?"
Yeah. Just went to go lay down, like, I'll be all right. But it just kept getting stronger. And I was like, called a friend up, same situation, went to the hospital. He was like, yeah, you are having a TIA.
What's TIA stand for?
Transischemic attack or something like that. I can't remember the actual technical term for it, but it's just the lower grade of the stroke. And yeah, they was like, basically, if you would have stayed in that house, because I was by myself. If you stayed in that house and it would have been in a full blown, then they would have been looking for you a few days from now.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yep.
Dude, you know what I heard about naps is that if you take a nap once or twice a week, it reduces your chance of stroke by 48%.
Well, I should be down about 2% now.
What if you take one every day? Can I just fucking wipe that out completely?
I don't know, but it makes you a lot more relaxed.
Okay.
Appreciate that, Natasha. All is well.
And Victoria said McDonald's in the Philippines has spaghetti and fried chicken. What the?
Yeah.
Tyler, you had any close near death or?
Yeah, I told this story last week when I was in Spokane, but I had a real fun, spooky story when I was a kid. I lived in the town Maltby in Washington, and kid, I mean, I was like, when I was a teenager and learning to drive, my buddies and I would drive my car to go smoke weed because none of our parents would let us smoke weed. And there was a farm down the street from my house that everybody who said it was abandoned because of like the guy who owned the farm lost it to like eminent domain of the railroad that went through. Okay. So like story was that all the animals had died from neglect and now the farm is just there. Still erected, but worn down. And we would drive down that road and look at the farm, and you would see it look like shit. So you like kind of believe the stories when you're younger. And the way the road worked was it was the road I lived on, but it went into the woods, and then it went down the woods like a quarter of a mile on this gravel road, trees all along the side of you, and then it would open up to that farm and the railroad track. And we would go down that road, turn around the guy's farm, and then drive back up halfway up the road. And we would park our car there because it was like out of sight of everybody, just really deep in the woods. And my buddies and I were all smoking weed. And it was Tyler Wagner was in the back seat. Myself was behind the driver's seat. And my buddy David was in the passenger front. And when David was passing the pipe back to Tyler, I was like, the lights on the car were all off, but the engine was on and the music was running. So we turned off all the lights, and all you could see was like the glow from like the JVC or JVS or whatever, you know, the logo that we all had, like that little dolphin that would swim with the sound bar type of thing.
Yeah,
If you guys remember
Oh,
having
yeah.
those sound systems, that illuminated the inside of the car. So we're all like in like a light glow, and I'm like tapping along to whatever music we're listening to. And when I hit the brake to the beat, the brake lights go up and everything behind us lights up in red.
Oh no.
And I see in my rearview
God.
mirror, a man is standing right behind us.
Oh my God.
Like 10, 20 feet, dude. He had a big bushy beard, a plaid shirt. It looked like one of those old hats that's like goes all the way around. I don't know what you call it, like an old fisherman hat.
Oh, fuck.
He just
A
looked
bucket?
old
Like a
and
bucket hat?
scary. And a bucket hat. And he was holding a double barrel shotgun. And as soon as the light hit him, he ducked down and he started like crawling really fucking fast to us. And it scared the shit out
I'd
of
fucking
me.
jam that car in reverse and ended that fucking problem.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
I'm like, huh. I see him in the rear view. My buddy David is turned around fully to hand the pipe to Tyler in the back seat, and he sees him like he's just looking out and sees him with his own eyes. And he's like, holy shit, you know, like just like, ah, because we're all like fucking teenagers. And Wagner in the back seat, he doesn't see anything because he's like not in view of the mirror and not turned around. So he's just like, what?
What on, guys?
You're really harshing my high, bro.
What's going on? And then like I just slam on the accelerator and I like, you know, fishtail out of there, and I'm like fishtailing down this gravel road, and then I like I realize I can't. Yeah, I'm so terrified. I'm just like, yeah, just driving down the road. I realize I'm fishtailing, so I slow down so I can like go straight, and then I flip my headlights on like after a few seconds of peeling out and driving away, and then just made it off. And my buddy David is just like in a like fetal position on the front seat, just fucking crying. And my buddy Tyler's like, what happened? What happened? What are you guys doing?
Yeah. Why does the car smell like shit now?
Oh my God, that shit is hilarious.
Holy shit. And by the way, yeah, I was going to say something too, Carlos. Victoria said, what are you watching? Since we can all see the reflection in your...
Y'all can see it that clear?
In your execution. It looks like sports.
Some sort of sporting game.
World
Baseball.
Series. Yeah, World Series.
I mean, that's cool. They give your undivided attention, but that's cool. All right. Yeah, said in the horror movie, the guy's waiting at the end of the road. What'd you say?
Tablet, as you would say.
Oh yeah. Your little So I mean, it definitely looks like a tablet in the reflection. When I was a kid, me and my buddy, I don't even remember who the buddy was, but I almost fell backwards off a cliff. Me and just dumb shit you do. There was it wasn't like a huge cliff. It was probably maybe 3 stories up. There was like this little cliff edge right next to these railroad tracks. And me and my buddy, we we walked up this path to the top of it. And we were like pretending something. And I squatted down behind like a boulder where the cliff is behind me. And as I did, like I slipped and I started to roll backwards. Like I did a backwards somersault, fell and like caught a thing where I'm holding on with one hand. My buddy said at the time he couldn't see me, and he was like, what am I going to tell his mom? But he looked over and fucking grabbed me and pulled me up. That was one.
How old were you then?
I was probably 10-ish, around 10.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I remember well shit, my thing, it's so funny because after you realize it's not you're not dying, then it's funny. But like at the time, I'm allergic to aspartame, and well, I'll just tell you what happened. I think Tyler knows this story, but this is back when I was doing MMA. I was in the instructors program. I was roommates with this dude, Randy Mengelenden, who was also in the or not Randy. I was roommates with Aaron Yates, and we Yates was doing the protein diet before it was called like Atkins or whatever, the protein diet, and he tells me, he's like, to curb your craving for carbs, just drink diet sodas. And I was like, okay. And that I had obviously never had any diet products prior. So I went from never having diet shit to where I'm drinking like probably 5 to 6 diet whatever sodas a day, right?
Wow.
Well, we had been hanging out, whatever. I'm on the computer. It's probably about 1 a.m. And I start walking up the stairs. And as I'm walking up the stairs, I can feel my right leg, like numbness flowing up my right leg, right? So I get to the top of the stairs and I wake Yates up. I go, dude, something's weird. My leg's like going numb. And typical guy, Yates is like, calm down. Your leg's just asleep. Fucking go to bed. Fucking Jesus. So I go and lay down and I can feel the numbness is flowing up my right hand. It's flowing up my arm. So I call an ambulance. So they get there pretty quick, knock on the door. Yates, I'm just in my bed, and Yates goes, he walks by my door and he goes, "Did you call an ambulance?" And I go, "Yeah." He's like, "God, you're such a hypochondriac. Fucking relax." So they bring the paramedics up, and as they're coming up, I can feel the numbness going into my face and in my head. So they ask me, they go, "What's going on?" And I can't form a sentence. All I can just say is I just keep repeating leg, back, arm, head. Leg, back, arm, head. That's all I can say. And so they look at Yates and they go, "Is this normal?" And he goes, "No." So they whisper or talk a little bit, the two paramedics. And then they say to me, they go, "Okay, we don't want you to be alarmed, but we think you might be having a stroke, or it could be," I can't remember if they said it was like MS or muscular dystrophy or something. I don't know, but it was a stroke or something else. And I'm like, okay. So they're like, "We're going to take you to the hospital." And I wanted to walk down the stairs, but they're like, "We're going to take you." And I was fat as fuck. Well, I was somewhat in shape because I was doing MMA, but I was definitely probably 3+ bills. And so I was like, all right. So they had to fucking take me down. They take me in the ambulance. We're going to the hospital. This paramedic keeps asking me what my dad's number is. And this is like 30 years ago when we remembered numbers. So I just keep telling him my dad's number. He's probably asked me 10 times. We get to the hospital. We get out of the ambulance. He asked me again. And I'm going in and out of being able to form sentences. So we get out of the ambulance. He asked me again, "What's your dad's phone number?" I go, "Dude, you fucking asked me like 15 times. And the guy goes, "Yeah, but you've told me 15 different numbers." And I had no idea. And I was like, okay. So then we get into the hospital. They fucking do MRI, CAT scan, all that shit. And again, I'm going in and out of being able to talk. Doctor comes in almost every hour and he'll point up at the clock and he'll go, "What time is it?" And I'll look right at the clock and I'll say some number that is not what it's saying up there, that the time is. It'll be like 3 a.m. and I'm like, "Oh, it's 12, whatever." I remember Yates is like, again, typical guy who's like, "Dude, check out that nurse. She's hot as shit." And I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's happening to me right now, Yates. I don't really give a fuck about how hot some chick is. I don't know what's going on.
He's like, "Hell yeah, dog."
I was just like, "No, it's great." So at about 7 a.m., this neurologist comes in, looks at all my stuff. He's got I remember he had a little bow tie. Oh, and I had thrown up. I threw up like around 6 a.m. So he looks at all this and he goes, "Yeah, it looks like you had a migraine with aphasia." I go, "What?" And he goes, you had a migraine with aphasia. Aphasia is what's causing you not to be able to speak. But he's like, your brain, everything's fine. You didn't have a stroke or anything. It's just a migraine with aphasia." And I'm like, he goes, "Have you ever had migraines before?" I go, "Never." And he goes, "It's a little weird to begin first time at this age." But he goes, "It's a migraine with aphasia." I was like, okay. So about a week goes by, and I'm one of those people where I've always kind of felt like I'm in tune with my body, whatever, like if something's off or whatever. So I start thinking, I'm like, okay, well, what am I doing different that could have caused this? And so I start researching migraines, and then I start researching. I find out, long story short, aspartame it was actually, when it was first brought to the FDA, they turned it down. And I think it was Reagan had him push it through. But there's all these reports of like Gulf War syndrome. They think that it might have been aspartame in sodas that sat out in the sun and it turned to like wood grain alcohol and all this other shit. So they've said people have been misdiagnosed with shit, and it was actually aspartame poisoning. So I'm like, okay, well, I got to get rid of it. I stopped doing that shit immediately, right? About a week goes by. I'm with this girl that I'm dating at the time, and starts happening again. Numbness. She takes me to the hospital. I throw up, or I remember the guys asking me questions, and I can't talk, and I'm just like, blah, 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 I can't fucking form a sentence. And I remember I knew I was about to throw up, and I'm trying to tell him that I got to throw up, but I'm not making words. So I'm just like, and the guy, he's kind of being flippant. He's just like, yeah, okay, cool, yeah, all right, yeah, sure, yeah, we're doing this. So in my head, I was like, all right. I was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking throw up then. So I just fucking threw up. He was so pissed, I remember. But then after I threw up again, I was good. And then I remember about another week went by. I was teaching Wing Chun Do, and I started feeling it in my hand, reading Encyclopedia frantically and getting paper cuts doing this aspartame research. Yeah. Oh God, paper cuts. So I remember I was teaching, and Michael Banag was taking me to the hospital, and then it like subsided. I was like trying to breathe and all this stuff. And then I had one more time where it happened. It was with that girl, and this is the first. By the way, all these times I had this migraine with aphasia, never once did my head hurt. I never had like a headache, except the fourth one, which was the final one. I was with the girl I was dating, Cho, and we were at her place, and it was the migraine. Like I'm in a room and light is fucking killing me, and I'm just like, I told her just leave me alone, and I'm in this room, and I just turned the lights off, and I just was just trying to get through it. And then I had a meeting with that neurologist, and I told him, I go, I think it's aspartame, and he goes, I mean, I don't know if it would affect you that long, but I don't know if it would still be affecting you. I was like, I think it's the aspartame, and I've stayed away from it since. And so, yeah, fucking dude. And then I found out that I'm also allergic to Imitrex, which Imitrex is what they give you when you're having a migraine. So I went in, I'm like, I'm allergic to aspartame. Okay, cool. Here, we'll give you this Imitrex. I'm allergic to that. Right. But the not knowing, I remember training, and it was happening when I was training, and I was like, fuck, man, is this just my life now? I'm gonna have this like quit looking at the fucking game. I was like, is this
I'm having to look up?
Yeah. I'm like, is this? And I was like, if it is what it is, if this is what it is, then fuck it. I'm just gonna have to deal with this. But the not knowing is the most terrifying shit. It's just scary, And the when you said the stroke, I'm like, fuck, dude, that's so terrifying, especially with what we do. I mean, I know you weren't doing comedy at the time, but
no.
Like, that's like when Patrice had his stroke, and like not be, taking his voice away. It's fucking brutal.
But I almost forgot to tell you about the time I fell off the boat at night. That was another time. Yeah, that was also during high school. That I was trying to talk to. We was on a cruise. And I was trying to talk to this. I was trying to be cool and talk to this girl, and think I'm gonna lean back on the rail, but it just happened to be the area where when they port, they opened the gate up to pull stuff up to put it on the ship, and the chain caught right at the cusp. But I could see down. You could see the water below, but my feet were still on the. I was like, yeah, nah, I don't want to go near the rails of a ship ever again.
Oh, fuck all of that.
Yeah.
And do you, since it is Halloween and we're not doing like a ghost hunting thing or anything, have you either of you had any experiences with the supernatural, ghosts or anything, afterlife?
I mean, this light keeps turning on in here now since we came back from what you call them. It's kind of bizarre.
Wait, what?
This light in the living room on the TV stand below the TV. I was there last night, and it just turned on, and it turned on red. And here's what's even crazier: I turned it off. Well, I take that back. I left it on, but I turned it on blue when I left. And then when I came back, it was back on red. I was like, all right, I'm just going to plug this shit here. So I don't know.
There was a accident at the warehouse when they were putting that together.
Well, Yeah, okay. Well, it's gonna get killed up out of here. I'm gonna take these lights straight the fuck up out of here.
You have anything, Tyler? Any ghosts?
One time when I was in college, there was this old story. I went to college at Washington State University, and the fraternity I was in, J.R. Berard was in it, a local comedian up here.
Was he? Were you there at the same time?
Yeah, we were there at the same time. Shit. There's this old story about how there was a girl who was dating a boy in the house and then caught him cheating. So she decided to hang herself from the tree outside his window. And every time anybody would like get in a fight with their girlfriend, like shit would be weird. Like there would be like rumblings in the house. And I remember this storm came through town and it wiped out the power for the whole town. It was just pitch black. And we were like a couple guys that were still there because this was like during a break or something. So it wasn't a full house. We saw like a light walking through the house and we all like, fuck this and ran outside. And we were all like waiting outside and we forgot that JR was still in there. And like a couple minutes of us like walking around the house just going, fuck whatever's inside the house. We just see JR comes running out from the front door in his underwear and it's like freezing cold outside. And he's just like, what the fuck's happening, guys? Like, I saw something weird. I can't be in the house. And he just like was with us. It was so funny.
Did he say he saw something in the house?
Yeah, he said he saw something too and ran outside. And we were all just like outside of our house, just grown men, grown college boys, out in the freezing cold.
All the times that we've done like haunted Hollingsworthless, there was at the Queen Mary, there was some weird shit, and then the Sorrento Hotel there in Seattle. That one was probably the weirdest. So I think I've probably told this on this before.
We were at the haunted hotel in the Oxford Hotel in Denver. Jay got possessed.
Like you were last Friday.
Yeah, Tyler gave me some fucking demon weed and from his dope show, and I fucking all right. Yeah, that one. Okay,
that's actually weed you brought yourself.
Was it? Yeah, maybe it was the
it was Angel's
the altitude. Well, we were so we stayed at that hotel in Colorado, and we ended up getting the haunted room. There was a room that was supposed to be known as being haunted, so we got that room, and Tyler and this girl were coming over to watch. We were going to watch a movie. I brought my Fire Stick, like I do when I travel. I was like, oh, dope, come on over. I don't remember if I did an edible too, but something fucking happened with that weed, and they were saying that there's a ghost in that room supposedly, but she only fucks with dudes, and I was like, oh fuck. But I got so high, and again, I don't know if it was with the altitude, something hit me harder or what, but like I couldn't. I felt sick. I was going to throw up. I couldn't move from the couch. And Angel, I was like, Angel, just take care of me. And I was like sprawled on the couch. She's like, where am I supposed to sit? Where the fuck am I and then Tyler and she eventually, him and his girl were like, yeah, we're just going to go, man. We're going to go. Because I was literally just on the couch like, dude, something's not right.
Hawking's it in the corner. We were just like, Jesus Christ.
You're like, we're out of here. You go. It's all you now, Jay.
Yeah,
dude.
It was like at 2 a.m, and I remember like at 3 a.m, when we're back in the room, like trying to go to sleep, I got a notification from the airport that our fucking flight had changed from like 2 p.m. to 7 a.m, and we were like, well, I guess we're leaving. Like, so we just like packed up and left.
I've never heard of flight.
So wild.
Yeah, dude. I was so blown away. I'm like, if I wasn't awake to get that message, we would have slept right through our flight.
Yeah, that's.
And then I'm curious what would happen with that, because you'd be like, hey, we're not psychic, people sleep.
Right.
At this, have you ever been to the Sorrento Hotel, Tyler, up in Seattle?
Yeah.
So they have like
I was
a room
there with you guys. I just didn't stay.
Oh, okay. So you had been invited before.
I wasn't invited for the podcast. I just came and said hi while you guys were hanging out.
Don't say that. That was so we got there's a room that's supposedly us haunted, and we got that room, and the room is set up. It is in the shape of like a J, and the way you walk in is you walk in and you're in like the long part of the J, and so like as you walk in, you can go right and there's a bathroom right there, or you can go left and it goes down, and as it starts to curve like on a J, that's where like the living room is, and then the final edge of the J is a bedroom, right? So we got there about 5 or 6, and we're in there, and some people were like, oh, we're gonna Jesus Christ, holy shit, something just happened here. Fucking wait, hold on. Are
we having a Halloween moment right now?
Okay, so this is a fucking, it's just a little thing, right? It's a what do you call it? A clicker for the light. It has a sticker that's on here that fell off that I put on it, and it magnetizes, it goes up onto the light. Well, this thing that was stuck on here just fell off while I was talking. It scared the shit out of me. Anyways,
I think I'm gonna go ahead and log off now.
It goes through the fucking computer. No, but so at about 5:30 or 6, everybody was kind of there, and they were like, some people were like, we're gonna go out and smoke, go hang out or whatever. And so I go, okay, cool, I'll just chill here watching TV. It's it's like 5:36, so I'm in there alone. And when you're in the living room, you can't see the door that comes in because it's in the hallway, right? So while I was waiting, watching TV, I heard a key card like activate on the door. I heard the door open, and so I'm just waiting for somebody to come around the hall, around the corner, and that never happened. And so I'm like, hello? Nothing. Then when everybody finally came back, maybe like 30 minutes later, I'm like, did one of you guys come up here and like open the door? Yeah, let me preface this also before I tell you all these. All these could be faked or horse shit. I'll say that up front.
You hope it is.
Yeah, because comics, everybody could be fucking with you and just lying, right? So when they all came back, I go, did one of you guys come up here and like open the door and just not come in? They were like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, this is what happened. So then the long hallway down to the bathroom, somebody goes down to the bathroom and they're like, oh, the window was open in the bathroom, but I shut it. Okay, cool. The next person that goes to the bathroom, they go, the window was open. Did somebody open the window? Everybody's like, no. He's like, okay, I shut it. The next person that goes to the bathroom, who opened the window? Nobody. So again, this could all be horseshit. One of us could have fucked around and opened it, but everybody's like, dude, I didn't fucking open it. So I don't know how it happened. Then fucking Phil Fox, the infamous Phil Fox, we had a Ouija board, and we were gonna try and get a demon to go into Phil. So we're in the living room. We're in the living room, and all the lights are off except in the living room, and we're trying to get this fucking. I think we had the Ouija board, and we're also been drinking and fucking around, and high, and well, everybody else is high. I've been drinking, and while we're in there, all of a sudden a light goes on in like the bar, the little mini bar, the fridge. The light turns on, but it had never been turned on. It just randomly turned on. Nobody opened it or whatever. That was weird. And that one couldn't be faked. The demon comes screaming out of Phil. Ah! Yeah. And then the final thing that was a trip. Yeah. When we're in the living room doing the podcast, the hallway light just turns on. Nobody was there. So again, the hotel could have fucking little trickery shit going on. Who knows? But that was
somebody sitting in the office like, yeah, go ahead, flip the light.
Yeah, fucking flip it. They have cameras. We're like, what the fuck?
That'd be crazy. That it was wound up being a viral video that came out around this time, and it's you.
Yeah,
watch all this shit go down. That's crazy.
Well, we have on tape. when we did the Queen Mary, me, Mike Coletta, and Kane we were in a room, and Sean was there too. But all three of us are on this table in our room because we're staying the night there doing the podcast. And Sean is across the room on the on like the an ottoman or like a TV dresser or whatever. It has like, you know, doors that are open. So he's just leaning on it, and he's been just chilling there. And we had a camera set up that was a 360 camera that was just going nonstop. So we're doing the podcast, and you see Sean leaning on it, and then all of a sudden the door just goes, but he had been leaning on it for like an hour. So, and you can see in the video he didn't do anything. He just starts to close, and Sean just goes, nope, and then he fucking takes off. He just fucking leaves.
Hey, man, that would have been me too.
And we stayed there Halloween night, and the Queen Mary, they have like a ghost haunting tour through there. Oh shit, there's Sean right there, fucking the cannibal. They have like during Halloween, they have like a tour that goes through parts of the Queen Mary. And so how's that game going? Who's winning?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
after it closes down the little haunted tours and shit, we went out at about I think it was the witching hour, like whatever they say, 3:00 or something. I can't remember. We Googled it. But there's one room on the Queen Mary that now it's locked and nobody can rent it. But it was a room, and supposedly somebody killed themselves on it in there, and then it became like people were experiencing things. So then it became like a work, like an office, and then people started saying that it was being weird. So they eventually just locked it up. So we went down there at around 3 a.m. and it was the weirdest shit. Like, not in the little cubby hole or like the little walkway to the door, but right outside of it, there was one spot. If you stood in there in this one spot, everybody heard somebody like humming or like singing, real faint singing. But if you even moved like a foot in any direction out of this one spot, you couldn't hear anything. But if you stood right, do you remember that, Sean? As you're in the chat, I don't know. I'm trying to remember. I think you were there, but it was just wild because you would just hear like this. What the fuck? But those are probably my the craziest. Sean, do you remember on the Queen Mary when we went to the little spot by that? Okay, all right. He says, "Yep, yeah." It was fucking so weird. You would just hear this faint singing in this one spot, but if you moved out and like I could be in the spot and you could be like just 3 feet from me and you don't hear anything, but you come and stand where I'm at and then you'll hear it.
Weird.
No, I'm good. Thanks though. So, yeah, the story's enough for me. I believe you.
Do any of you guys' family have like my mom has had a bunch of weird shit. What up, Christine? A bunch of weird ghost shit happen, or like premonitions or anything. Anybody in your family, in your guys' family?
Nope. No, we're just all regular ass people over here without no ghost stories. Need that in my life.
Do you know Halloween started in Ireland?
That's what I've heard. Mm-hmm.
And they carve I think it's radishes, not pumpkins.
I do remember this little story, tidbit of information.
And fireworks. They that comes from Ireland too. They used to do fireworks on, or they still do. I guess.
When y'all are there, they're gonna carve the what you call them and then fire off some fireworks.
I don't know if Ray does that. Ray and Claire do that, but he did say that there'll be fireworks will be going on, and we're gonna be fucking beat because we leave tomorrow at our flight's at 11:15, goes to Chicago. And then we're there for a few hours, and then we go to London. That's like a 7-hour flight, 7.5. And then from London we go to Ireland, which is like an 1.5-hour flight. So we get into Ireland at about noon tomorrow. And Ray's like, "Well, I'll take you back. You guys can nap, etc."
It's also are they a day behind us or are they ahead of us?
No, we get there. It'll be Halloween. It'll be the 31st. They're like. Actually, I'll tell you what time it is right now. I think I don't even know. Let me see. Time in Ireland. It is right now in Ireland. It is 1:20 a.m. The 30th. So they're a day ahead right now.
Jesus,
But yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I know.
Wow.
Tyler, you have any family that's got ghost shit?
No, but I had another story I wanted to tell because Tori and I went to HorrorCon this last week, 2 days ago.
Wait, horror or whore?
HorrorCon.
Because it sure sounded like HorrorCon. I was like, well, shit, we could have got an invite for that.
Yeah, it still sounds like it because you're not. You sound like you just started lengthening it.
HorrorCon. It was the first annual HorrorCon in Washington, and I've been to like Comic-Con. I've been to like the gaming conventions, so I've been to a few, but this is the first one that I've ever been to where they had like celebrities there just kind of signing shit and doing photos. And they had the whole cast of Starship Troopers.
Oh shit!
Like Carmen Diaz, that
Cameron
Casper guy who was Rico, and the general guy who's like, "You want to live forever," you know, all those guys. And then Jake Busey was there, and I'm a big fan of Jake Busey, so I'm like, he's got no one in his line. I'm just gonna go say hi. And I walk over. And like, there's one guy there and he's like talking and then they like shake and he leaves. And I go, "Hey, what up, Jake?" And then he just turns around and he starts shuffling through his suitcase and he like doesn't acknowledge me whatsoever. And his assistant's like, "Would you like to buy an autograph?" And I was like, I just wanted to shake his hand and say hi, if that's okay. And he's like, "Yeah, just give him a second." And he's just rummaging through his suitcase, not doing anything, like just kind of like flipping a flap and then closing it, then zipping it. And then I'm standing there for like a minute and I just go, "Hey, Jake," you know, like, "Hello." And he like kind of sighs and he stands up and he looks at me and he's like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Hey, man, like big fan. Loved your stuff. Loved Shasta McNasty. If you remember that. You remember that throwback?" And he just goes, "Haha, that was a good one." And then just like stares at me. And I'm like, "Okay, well, I'll remember this forever. Bye."
Handshake or not.
And turned around and left. And it was the most uncomfortable. I'll never do that again. And I'll never be able to look at another Jake Busey film. And there's so many that I like. I'll never be able to look at him and be like, not cringe. I'll never not cringe seeing that fucking actor now.
What was your that's dope about the horror what was your favorite parts of it?
So there's a lot of like D&D stuff, which was kind of fun. It was like a lot of vendors. Basically it's just a big shopping mall with horror stuff. And am I not saying it right?
It just sounds like whore.
Yeah.
You gotta really enunciate horror.
We're at the and went through the spooky stuff. We saw spooky things. We wore costumes too. Tori and I, we dressed up like the costumes that we didn't get to wear last year.
Look what Victoria said. Costumes were on point, Tyler.
Oh yeah. We posted it on IG. So we were Chucky and Chucky's bride, which is fun. We bought some D&D dice because we were like, let's buy some dice while we're here. And we like walked around. There was some cool art. There was like a lot of fun costumes. They had the fair food because it was at Washington State Fairgrounds. So there was like pickle pizza, which Tori got, and we got like cotton candy lemonade, which was fun. And then
pickle pizza. What? So pizza with pickles, and that's it?
Yeah. Pickled pizza. It's pretty good. Pretty good. It's just sour pizza.
Okay.
Chicks love pickles, man. I don't know what it is, but I
like pickles too.
All right.
One.
Yeah.
We get back to my place and I'm like, that's cool that these guys are like making dice. And then I'm like, I wonder if they actually made this or if they just bought it on Temu or some shit. So I Looked up my dice on Temu and I found it for 400% cheaper. I was so mad.
Oh no.
And I found what Tori bought. She bought like a keychain that was a 20-sided dice filled with like mini D&D dice, and that was also like a quarter of the price. We were so bummed when we saw how cheap they were and how they were just everybody there was just buying shit off Temu and reselling it.
That shit is crazy.
And all the ladies in the chat are saying you're incorrect. They don't like pickles. Natasha, I just like pickles. Victoria,
maybe it's just white women. All right, white women like pickles. We got any white people? In the chat? Any white women want to back me up with their pickle love?
So funny. And are they going to do that horror con every year or horror fest?
I'm sure they would. It looked like it did pretty well. Tickets were fucking expensive too. So,
like
I
what?
imagine it was $40 a person per day, 3 days
per day.
We went on we went on Sunday so it was like the slowest day, and it was still pretty packed.
That doesn't count food and drinks. And,
no.
Now you're talking about $150, $200 a day.
It was like I think we ended up spending around like $200-$300 between the both of us because we didn't really buy a whole lot of shit. There was like a lot of tattoo vendors too, so you can just get a tattoo while you're there. They had like pre-made stencils.
Oh shit!
Here we go. You see that, everybody?
Jeffrey's mom is white.
There it is.
Jeffrey representing white women in the chat today.
Mansplaining. All right. Well, actually, fucking somebody had your back, so let's end it on this. Let's do our plugs, and I'm gonna finish packing and get the fuck it ready. What do you guys got coming up?
This weekend I'm in Atlanta, and then I'm back.
It'd be cool if I got an invite.
But you're gonna be in Ireland. We've established this. And then next week I'm back again. Of course, LA Comedy Club. Then we are in Barstow, and then after that I'm working on something, hopefully, to get back to LA. So we shall see how that unfolds. Parttimefamous.com.
And Tyler.
This weekend I got no shows. I'm going to the cat convention with Tori. So if you're at the MeowCon in Seattle, come see me.
You're joking, right?
No, dude, she loves cats. So we're going to the cat convention.
Does she have a cat?
Wow.
She has 3 cats, bro. 3 cats. She fucking loves them. White women love cats.
That I agree with.
That is a fact.
Oh fuck! That's cat convention. Okay.
Next week I'm in Richland doing a dope show
at Joker's.
No, different place.
Okay.
It's called Ray's Golden Lion.
Okay. Ray's Gold Lion, dope show. Go check it out if you haven't seen a dope show, or if you have seen a dope show. I may be performing Tuesday in Ireland at with, I think it's Stitches. I don't know. I'm sending an email. I still haven't sent it. I gotta send it, but I'm hoping I'll get on there. Anyways, the 8th, I'll be here in Las Vegas at Jimmy Kimmel's, hosting for my friend Jill Kimmel. 2 shows the 8th. The 9th, Carlos and I are in Barstow, and then the weekend after that, November 15th, 16th, I will be in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where the Patriots play at the Comedy Scene. After that, I'll be in Winter Haven, Florida. You can go to bigrj.com for tickets. And until next time, which will be in 2 weeks, everybody have a great Halloween, and see you in a couple of weeks.
And happy daylight
after the presidential election.
Oh God, that's right. I'm going to be back when. That's right when it's happening. Oh fuck. Maybe I won't come back.